Welcome back. Today, we're taking a look at some of the weirdest inventions in history with 10 fascinating facts. From the utterly useless to the surprisingly practical, these inventions will make you question everything you thought you knew about human ingenuity. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into a world of bizarre contraptions and head-scratching creations that will leave you wondering, what were they thinking? Let's dive in. Alright, let's kick things off with a classic, the pet rock. I mean, it's a rock, right? You find them everywhere. But back in 1975, Gary Dahl managed to convince the world that these ordinary stones were the perfect low-maintenance pets. It's honestly kind of brilliant when you think about it. No feeding, no walking, no vet bills. Dahl packaged these rocks in cardboard boxes, complete with breathing holes, just in case, and a tongue-in-cheek instruction manual on pet care. The manual was the real genius, filled with puns and gags that played on the absurdity of the whole thing. It was like a social experiment disguised as a novelty gift. And guess what? It took off like a rocket. People couldn't get enough of these little stone companions. Maybe it was the novelty of it all, or maybe people were just tired of picking up after their furry friends. Whatever the reason, the pet rock became a pop culture phenomenon, selling millions of units, and proving that sometimes the simplest ideas can be the most successful. But the real question is, did anyone actually having a pet rock? I mean, it's not like they could play fetch or anything. Maybe it was more about the statement it made. A commentary on consumerism, perhaps? Or maybe it was just a good laugh. Whatever it was, the pet rock cemented its place in history as one of the weirdest and most successful inventions of all time. Next up, we've got an invention that's so meta, it hurts. I'm talking about the Nothing app. Yeah, you heard that right, an app that does absolutely. It's literally just a blank screen on your phone. You'd think that would be a recipe for disaster in the crowded app market. But nope, this thing went viral. The creator, Swedish developer Rafi Lado, marketed it as a digital detox tool, a way to escape the constant barrage of notifications and information overload. And people bought it, thousands of them. Maybe they were just curious, or maybe they were desperate for a break from the digital noise. The irony is, the Nothing app became a huge talking point online. People were sharing screenshots of their blank screens, writing reviews, and debating the merits of nothingness. It's like the app itself was a blank canvas for people to project their own interpretations onto. The Nothing app is a fascinating case study in consumer behavior and the power of marketing. It proves that sometimes the most unexpected ideas can resonate with people, even if they seem utterly pointless on the surface. Or maybe, especially, they're pointless. It makes you think, doesn't it? From the digital world to the fruit aisle, let's talk about square watermelons. Yes, you heard me right, watermelons that are perfectly square. Now, you might be thinking, why on earth would anyone want a square watermelon? Well, it turns out there's a method to the madness. You see, round watermelons are notoriously difficult to store and transport. They roll around, take up a lot of space, and can be easily damaged. So some clever farmers in Japan came up with a solution. Grow the watermelons in square boxes. It's actually pretty ingenious. While the watermelon is still growing on the vine, they enclose it in a clear, square container. As the melon grows, it takes on the shape of the box, resulting in a perfectly cubical fruit. And voila, no more rolling watermelons. Now, before you rush out to your local supermarket, there's a catch. Square watermelons are primarily grown for their novelty factor and are often sold at a premium price. They also tend to be harvested before they're fully ripe, so they might not be as sweet as their round counterparts. But hey, at least they look cool on your countertop, right? Let's take a step back in time now and talk about the alarm clock, or at least the earliest versions of it. Can you imagine a world without the ability to set an alarm? No snooze buttons, no gentle wake-up melodies, just the harsh reality of the rising sun. The first alarm clocks were a far cry from the digital devices we have today. We're talking about water clocks, candle clocks, and even rooster-powered alarms. That's right, people used to rely on the crowing of a rooster to wake them up. One of the earliest known alarm clocks was invented by the ancient Greeks around 400 BC. It was a water clock that used a system of flowing water to measure time. When the water level reached a certain point, it would trigger a mechanism that made a loud noise like a gong or a whistle. But these early alarm clocks weren't exactly reliable. Water clocks could be affected by temperature changes and evaporation, while candle clocks could easily be extinguished by a draft. And as for the rooster, well, let's just say they weren't always the most punctual of timekeepers. Okay, this next invention is definitely on the stranger side of things. Get ready for the anti-eating face mask. Yes, you heard that correctly. A mask designed to prevent you from eating. Now, I'm all for finding creative solutions, but this one seems a little extreme even for me. This contraption basically looks like a muzzle you'd put on a dog, but instead of stopping them from barking, it's meant to stop you from indulging in your favorite snacks. It's made of a rigid material that fits snugly over your mouth and is secured with straps around your head. The idea is that by physically blocking your mouth, you'll be less likely to eat. It's like a more intense version of chewing gum to curb cravings, except you can't really chew gum with this thing on. The public reaction to the anti-eating face mask was, as you can imagine, mixed. Some people praised it as a revolutionary weight loss tool, while others criticized it as being impractical, uncomfortable, and even downright dangerous. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this next invention is going to take you back in time and leave you scratching your heads. I'm talking about the baby cage. And before you jump to any conclusions, let me explain. Back in the early 20th century, fresh air was considered essential for a baby's health. And I'm talking fresh air, like the kind you get hanging out a window several stories up. That's where the baby cage came in. These wire cages were designed to be suspended outside windows of apartment buildings, giving babies a chance to soak up some sun and breathe in the fresh air, all while safely contained. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds absolutely bonkers. And you're not wrong. Looking back, the baby cage seems like a recipe for disaster. But at the time, it was considered a perfectly acceptable, even modern solution for parents living in cramped urban environments who wanted to give their little ones a taste of the great outdoors. Let's move on to something a little more lighthearted, shall we? And by lighthearted, I mean literally illuminating. Say hello to the Illumi Bowl, the toilet bowl nightlight that's here to guide your way in the dark. Have you ever stumbled to the bathroom in the middle of the night, half asleep, and fumbled for the light switch? Well, the Illumi Bowl is here to solve all your nighttime bathroom woes. This handy gadget clips onto the rim of your toilet bowl and emits a soft, colorful glow, illuminating the bowl from within. You can choose from a variety of different colors, and even set it to cycle through them, creating a disco-like ambiance in your bathroom. Hey, who said bathroom breaks had to be boring? The Illumi Bowl is one of those inventions that makes you wonder, why didn't I think of that? It's practical, it's fun, and it's sure to be a conversation starter at your next party. Just maybe not right before your guests use the bathroom. Get ready to channel your inner Fred Flintstone, because the next invention on our list is the Fliz bike. This contraption takes us back to the basics of transportation, but with a modern twist. Imagine a bicycle, but without pedals. Yeah, you heard that right. The Fliz bike is essentially a frame with a seat, handlebars, and two wheels. To propel yourself forward, you use your feet, Flintstone style. It's like a cross between a bicycle and a scooter, but with a whole lot more effort required. The inventors of the Fliz bike claim it's a great way to get exercise and experience the joy of cycling without the hassle of, actually cycling. They also argue that it's more environmentally friendly than a car and provides a more engaging way to interact with your surroundings. But let's be real. The Fliz bike looks like a recipe for exhaustion and sore legs. It's definitely not for the faint of heart or the weak of quads. All right, parents, this next invention is for you. Introducing the Daddle, a unique take on the traditional piggyback ride that will have you and your little ones laughing, or maybe crying, all the way to the park. The Daddle is essentially a harness that you wear like a backpack, but instead of carrying supplies, you carry your child. It has a padded seat and adjustable straps to ensure a comfortable and secure fit for both you and your little rider. The Daddle is designed to make it easier and more enjoyable to carry your child for extended periods. No more aching backs or tired arms. Plus, it gives your child a fun and elevated view of the world. Of course, the Daddle isn't without its critics. Some people argue that it looks ridiculous, while others worry about the safety of both the child and the wearer. But hey, if you're looking for a unique and fun way to bond with your child, the daddle might just be the ticket. And last but not least, we have an invention that aims to revolutionize the way we eat, or at least how fast we eat. Get ready for the eating speed fork, a utensil that's on a mission to slow you down and make you savor every bite. In a world where fast food reigns supreme and mealtime often feels rushed, the eating speed fork is here to remind us that good things come to those who wait, especially when it comes to food. This ingenious fork is equipped with a built-in sensor that detects how quickly you're bringing food to your mouth. If you're eating too fast, it vibrates, flashes a light, or even makes a sound to alert you to slow down. The idea behind the eating speed fork is to promote mindful eating, which has been linked to improved digestion, weight management, and even increased enjoyment of food. It's basically like having a personal eating coach right there on your plate. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing content.